Yo, what's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today I'm talking about your first 10K from your first book, and we're going to be focusing on mindset. If you are the kind of person who gets offended easily, I was like that in 2015 before I started writing books, before I started selling myself, promoting my products to the world. I was very sensitive, got my feelings hurt. It was hard for me to take constructive criticism, really afraid a lot of stuff. My own shadow, to be honest. So if you're the kind of person who you get triggered easily by things that people tell you about yourself, this is going to be a very difficult episode for you. Because I'm gonna raise my voice a lot, and I'm gonna say some things to you that other people are probably thinking, but they don't want to say it to you, because guess what? How you do anything is how you do everything. So the woman that you are at home behind closed doors is the same woman that's coming out and walking around the office. Okay. Let me just get myself real comfortable here. The woman that you are sitting at the dinner table is the same woman that you are in the boardroom. You might try to dress different. You might put on the lipstick. You might have certain facial expressions that you use when you get defensive. But look, boo, you are you. And everywhere you go, there you are. And everybody can see you for who you are. So don't play this game about, thinking that you're here and you're this way and you're here and you're that way, and people only see you for what you present. No, boo. People know you for what you put out. Your energy puts out a fragrance. Okay? Your attitude puts out a frequency. Who you are brings out a whole reputation, because it's about the way you make people feel when they're with you. That's the thing that's important. How do people feel when they're with you? Do they feel empowered? Do they feel bold? Do they feel confident? Do they feel happy and excited and inspired? Or do they feel afraid? Do they feel intimidated? What do people feel when they're with you? That's important, because it's the basis of all your relationships. Do they feel seen and heard and supported by you? Or do they feel like they're in competition? Check yourself before you wreck yourself. This is a serious episode today, because I want you to check your mindset, and I want you to correct it. And I want you to get rid of these old stinking thinking paradigms. The things that people told you when you were growing up, the crap that you learned in school, the cliches that your grandmama used. This ain't your grandmama's internet. This ain't your grandmama's business. This ain't your grandmama's YouTube channel or Facebook. So you better check yourself before you wreck yourself, because who you are, how you do anything is how you do everything. The way you show up here is the same way you're showing up everywhere else. You think you got everybody fooled, but you don't. How do you know if your mindset is jacked up? Let me just tell you how you know your mindset is jacked up, because this is how I was in 2015. Let me just break it all the way down, because I'm not judging you. I'm not criticizing you. I'm trying to support you. I'm not lying to you. I'm not trying to fool you. I'm trying to help you. So the faster you get this mindset thing under control, the faster you can get your books out, boo, and do your first 10K with your first book. This is all about mindset. Whether or not you hit this goal, it depends on what's in here. Some of you look at the title and you're like, ain't no way. Nobody's going to make no 10K from their first book. What? And you can guarantee if that's you and your stinking thinking, you ain't going to do it. If somebody in your household is saying that, but you believe it, but then you're hanging out with them all the time, you ain't going to do it. Because deep down inside, you're going to side with them because they're in proximity with you, right? Look to your left, look to your right, look at the 5 people. Look at the 5 people that you spend the majority of your time with. Look at their income, look at their health, look at their relationships with their kids, look at their spouse, look at their job, their career, or the lack of. Look at their daily habits. Are they smoking? Are they drinking? Are they hanging out all night, partying? Ain't nothing wrong with doing that stuff in moderation, but is that their lifestyle? Daily habits become your lifestyle. Okay? What books do they read? Right? What charities do they contribute to? What church are they attending? Not that you have to do any of this stuff, but this is just food for thought. What kind of person are they becoming? And what kind of person are they leading you to become? Because you become what you think about, and you become what you do every day. Your habits lead to your character, right? And your character exposes your beliefs. And so we're talking about mindset today. We're talking about what you have your mind set on. Do you have your mind on your money and your money on your mind? Because if that's the case, you're going to get it. Or do you have your mind on your kids? And that's pretty much where your mind stays. See, I was like that in 2015. My mind was on my kids. My mind was on my job. My mind was on everything except for my own personal dream. So I knew everything about everyone else, frontwards, backwards, upside down, but didn't know a damn thing about what I needed. Because my mindset was all jacked up. I didn't value myself. It was hard for me to look myself in the mirror and say those daily affirmations. It was hard. It took me years. I started trying to do daily affirmations in 2015. I couldn't do it until like 2020. Really like 2021, if I really want to be honest with y'all. Just like the last 3 years, I've been doing daily affirmations in the mirror, talking to myself. That was hard back in the day because my mindset was jacked up. I was talking to a friend the other day and she was like, yeah, I used to do modeling. She's like, I'm a beauty pageant winner, and I used to do modeling as well. And I was like, oh, cool. And she was like, and every time I would do a photo shoot and they would bring back the photos, she goes, it was hard for me. She was like, ooh, she said, it was hard for me to look at those photos. And I was like, oh, wow, that's interesting. I was like, ooh, that's real interesting. Imagine that. Like, that's actually what happens to a lot of us women. Like, we don't know how to feel. When we look at ourselves in the mirror, we're like, wait, who is that? We don't know how to feel about looking at ourselves, right? Like, we don't want to be conceited. We don't want to be stuck up, So I want you to look at yourself today. Look at yourself. Go get a mirror right now. Put it up in front of yourself and say, self, what is my mindset? What is my mindset on? What is my mind set on? Is my mind on my spouse? Is it on my boyfriend? Is it on my girlfriend? Is it on my job? Is it on school? What is your mindset on? Because if you are going to achieve your first 10K from your first book, your mind needs to be on your book. If you're not ready to make a commitment of at least 12 months, don't do it. The first 3 months is easy because it's just writing it and beta testing it and editing it and publishing it. That's all that is. The first 90 days is easy. The next 90 days is picking this thing up off the ground like a boulder, okay, and pushing it all the way up the hill. So one day it'll roll for you. But that next 90 days is nothing but hard sweat and tears. Like it's pounding the pavement, okay? You're just pounding the pavement because you're trying to build momentum from ground zero. Nobody knows you. Nobody cares. And you feel alone. Okay? So the first 90 days of publishing a book is fun because you got editors and beta readers and people helping you, and it's exciting. Proofreaders and stuff like that. It's exciting. But then the next one, you feel like, damn, how am I going to market this thing? So that's 6 months of your life, right? And then the next 6 months is you trying to continue to keep those sales rolling because you're trying to establish passive residual income. So you're trying to figure it all out. You got the website and the landing pages, and you've got the podcast, and you've got the audiobook and the paperback and the ebook. It's like, whoop, it's a lot. And then you got to worry about copyright and ISBN and royalties and blah, blah, blah. It's a lot. And so the first thing you need to do is stop, and you need to take an assessment, and you need to think about your mindset. What is your mind set on? How do you know what your mind is set on? Look at your schedule. What are you doing with most of the hours of your day? I have an hourly schedule every day. And every hour, I account for what I'm doing. And that has been a game changer. When did I start implementing that into my life? About 2017, when I became an author. And I was like, my life has to change. The things that I'm doing now is not what a successful author would do. And so here's what I had to realize. My mind was set on BS. And so I had to turn it around and set it on things that were important. So I created this hourly, hour by hour schedule for the week. And I listed out everything I was doing every single day, hour by hour, from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed, just to take an inventory of what am I focused on. And then I started taking those hours and I started saying, I need to pull this out and put that in. I need to cross that out and highlight this. I need to be reading. I need to be listening to audiobooks. I need to be listening to motivational speakers. I need to be exercising. I need to be eating well. I need to be socializing with people who are on top of their game. Okay. I need to be in rooms where there's people who know more than I know, who can stretch me to grow. I need to be going to conferences. I need to be getting on flights. I need to be doing the damn thing so that I can become someone different. And so once I fixed my mindset, then everything started to change in my life. So take a look at your mindset, take an inventory, take an assessment, write down everything you do all day. And then you need to write down all of your results that you've gotten so far. What does your life look like? If it's fantabulous, turn this video off. You don't need it. If you got everything you need and you're moving and shaking and making shit happen, turn this video off. You don't need it. If your book is done, you got multiple streams of income, you've achieved everything you want to achieve, turn this video off. You don't need it. But if you like how I was in 2015 and you was all jacked up, keep it rolling and keep taking notes. And you might want to watch this video 3 or 4 or 5 times and let it sink in. Okay? It's a lot. It's a lot that we're dealing with here, talking about becoming an author. You're not just talking about producing a book, you're talking about producing an identity. You're not just talking about transforming your bank account. You're talking about transforming and renewing your mind. The Bible says renewing of your mind. That's what you need to be doing. Because if you don't renew your mind and you put out some kind of haphazard, mediocre work, you're going to damage people. Don't damage people. No, you're better than that. You're smarter than that. You're more responsible than that. Don't put out garbage. You owe yourself a book that is going to be quality, that is going to actually help people transform their lives. You owe it to yourself for your legacy, for your grandchildren's children to say, you know what? My grandpa did that. My great grandpa did that. My grandmama did that. My great grandmama did that. You see that last name on that book? She made us proud. That's why you're doing this. So check yourself before you wreck yourself. Check your mindset. What is your mindset on? There's, unfortunately, when you wake up in the morning, there's only two dials. It's either positive or negative. There's no halfway. There's no middle road. You're either on the right track or you're off the track. You're either on the horse or you're on the ground. You're either pregnant or you're not. There's no halfway pregnant. Okay? You're either affluent and wealthy and rich or you're not. There's no halfway. You're either abundant or you're living in scarcity and lack. That's it. So how do you know if your mindset is on the wrong things? Look at the results in your life. If you're winning, you got a winner's mindset. If you're losing, you got a loser mindset. And if you're not sure, ask your children. They'll put you straight real quick. Ask your children. If you really want to know if you're winning or losing, ask your colleagues, ask your friends, ask your family members, ask people who've known you forever. What do they see in front of them? Collect that feedback. If you really want to know if you're winning or losing, take out a journal, take out a pen, and start journaling and ask your subconscious mind to list all the ways that you're winning. And then ask your subconscious mind to list all the ways that you're losing. And you may be doing some of both. You may be winning and winning and losing, but you have a dominant setting. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But what team are you on? Is your team a generally winning team or a generally losing team? Figure it out. And so your first 10K from your first book has more to do with mindset than anything else. If you are the kind of person who's like, man, I can't believe that I am actually successful at writing. Oh my gosh. Like, it should not be a surprise that people come to you and they say, wow, your words are powerful. I have a writing clinic coming up on April 4th. It's online. And we do it every 2 weeks. And one of the things that I love to do is, while we're doing the writing clinic, it's a 2-hour opportunity to do nothing but writing, and then talking, because we also talk about it. there's always one person that reads what they wrote out loud, and everybody in the room is like, whoa. And the person's always like, I wrote that? Like, you guys are impressed? Like, whoa. If you're a good writer, you're a good writer. You know you're a good writer. You know it. You've had feedback your whole life. You just keep running from it. Right? If you tell people that you're going to write a book and then you hear people say, hey, when your book comes out, I want to buy it. And you sit up here, you're like, I can't believe a person would actually want to buy my book. Like, oh, whoa. My clients get all super uncomfortable when people say, I want to buy your book. And it's like, why do you feel uncomfortable with people handing you money? It's just money. But that's how I was in 2015. I was very shy, very insecure, very highly offended, very sensitive, not willing to have conversations that need to be had. I was really, my mind was jacked up. And so I want to encourage you today to fix your mindset. Your homework for tonight is to go online and search up personal development books. Thousands will pop up. Whichever one pops up in your spirit, whichever one makes you feel excited, get it and read it. Cover to cover, don't stop. I want you to go on YouTube and start looking for motivational speeches. And pick one and listen to it every day, over and over and over and over and over and over, because that's how you're going to train your mindset to a new setting, which is productive and positive. Busy is cool. Productive is better. Okay. So your homework is also to get your journal and start writing. Stop making excuses. Just start writing. If you're not writing for at least 10 minutes a day, you ain't doing nothing. Successful people have a complete journal with sticky notes and tabs, highlighting and squigglies. The more successful the person is, the more pages they have written in that journal. This is not difficult stuff. It's just, you got to get up and do it, and you got to believe that you can. And once you start believing in yourself, then you will start growing and progressing, and you will get better and better and better, and you will be able to earn more and more and more. You know why? Because you'll trust yourself. And then guess what? Other people will trust you. You need to trust yourself, and then other people will trust you. So I want you to remember those homework assignments. I want you to do them and take them seriously. And then I want you to go back and watch all the rest of the videos in this series, because it is a series. And so I want you to start with this one on mindset. And then there's another one, which is an overview. And then there's videos 1 through 6, 6-part series. So that's all I have for you today. Definitely do your homework. Click subscribe to my YouTube channel, right? Share my videos, like my videos, click that notification bell, right? Because you know that I know that this information is useful and it's valuable and it's important. And so you need to take it seriously for yourself, but also for everyone else in your network. Okay? All right. So subscribe to that YouTube channel. Join my Facebook group. It's the same name, Your First Book Club. If you have any questions, I'm always in the group, checking to see what's going on, asking questions, answering questions, giving feedback, all of that. If you want to come to the writing clinic, just put writing clinic, and I'll send you the link to get into there. It's a free 99 2-hour experience, and you're going to love it. All right. Have a wonderful day. Bye.